Good morning, Internet. This is the Old Fat Dad, and welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Today we're going to talk about everyday carry, and more specifically, my personal philosophy of EDC. Before we get too deep into this, let me just remind you that this is my opinion, and I am sharing it because I think that it is fundamentally different from a lot of the everyday carry ideas and opinions I hear on the internet. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me, and that's great. Leave those comments down below. I'd love to hear a little controversy. So while I am a dad, I'm not your dad, so you do what you want. I'm going to dive right in. We'll start with the money shot. We've got my booty pocket, which gives you the wallet, and then on my right side I am carrying a knife, flashlight, and on my left I have a phone, and finally a pair of earbuds. I have two other items that I carry with me every day outside of my pockets, and they are a pair of sunglasses and finally my hat, because my hair is just too sexy to show to people every day. Let's start by going over all the kit I got, and then we'll talk about philosophy later. So from least controversial to most controversial, we'll start out with the sunglasses. So I just got these particular sunglasses from REI. I don't even know what brand name they are. Is it going to show up? It says Sun Cloud. They were cheap. I try to get safety rated sunglasses for the most part because I am on construction sites and that's a requirement. I don't think these particular ones are. I just happened to grab them on the way out. But that's a pretty easy item here to justify, right? Everyday carry of a pair of lightweight, these are polarized as well, sunglasses to protect your eyes, to make it easier to see for driving. I think that's just a good choice that everybody can get on board with. So sunglasses are my number one item. Second item, this might be more controversial for some of you guys, but I'm always wearing a hat. And again, it's a issue of keeping the sun off my face. I'm a little bit sensitive to bright lights. I don't really love having bright sunlight in my face. So this keeps the eyeballs shaded. And it has another purpose that I use quite frequently that we're going to circle back to once I cover a couple of these other items. Here is my wallet. This is a, I think it's a Popov wallet. Just a nice sturdy leather wallet. It's a bifold. It can hold a bunch of crap inside. I actually keep cards on the inside as well as bills. 6 cards can fit over here, and I got this because it's durable. I'm never going to have to think about it. It holds everything I want it to hold. I've tried the smaller compact wallets, and they're nice for the form factor, but I found I was either stuffing them too full and stuff would fall out, or I was leaving things behind and regretting it. So this is one of the things where I chose to compromise on size, but not durability or capacity. So my wallet. Next up are electronics. So here's a set of earbuds that I use every day, and these are just Samsung. I don't even know what generation they are. I think they came free with one of my phones, but they have a good life on them as far as battery life. The case charges, get that one out. And they have active noise cancellation, which I like a lot. I know a lot of you guys are in the iPhone ecosystem, but I have always enjoyed Android, so I have a Samsung set of earbuds. And then I also have a Samsung phone. And this is one of their flip phones, which, being a child of the 80s and 90s, I like the form factor. And I just was getting sick of those giant slab phones, putting them in my pocket. This one is so much easier to slide into your pocket, takes up way less space. Does it have subpar compared to flagship phones cameras? Yeah. Does it have subpar performance? Yeah. Subpar battery life? Yeah, but it's not that much different, and it's a little bit cheaper. And again, I'm really shooting for that form factor where I can just drop this in any pocket and not have to think about it. The final two items on my EDC list I think are the most controversial. So let's start with the second to most controversial, and that is my knife. So this is the knife I carry every day. It's the Milwaukee Fastback, and this is just a utility knife that flips out and runs a little utility blade. And as you can see, I have used the crap out of this thing. And on the back, what you're looking at right now, is the secret feature that really sets this one apart. And the reason why I choose this for EDC is it pops out into a little bit holder for a screwdriver, and it is two-sided, so you can use a flathead. Focus there, focus, yep, there we go. A flathead or a Phillips, and a 1/4-inch driver, of course, at the end of it. And finally, before we start talking about the philosophy behind these items, let's look at my flashlight. So some of you guys are gonna cringe at this, but I really like this flashlight. This is an Olight, and this is the Arc Pro model, and it's a rectangle, right? So it's a little bit different than a lot of the flashlights you see out in the world. And as you can see, I have, again, used the crap out of this thing. When I everyday carry something, that means I am using it all the time. You can see the wear marks all over it. This has a lot of neat features. I'm gonna roll it back to my hat, which I said had a tie-in with one of my items. The clip on this is reversible, and the form factor of this makes this feature really easy. It slides on, and now I've got hands-free lights, so I don't have to carry a headband light and a regular light. If I need hands-free action, I can slip it on and do whatever I need to do hands-free. This also serves multiple functions. Let's see if it'll zoom in and focus. So it has 3 different lights that you can switch to with this little spinner doodle here. And one of them is going to be a beam, one's a flood, and one's a UV. The UV I don't really use a whole lot. I have used it once or twice deer hunting, something that I'm going to get ready to do here in a minute. And it can pick up blood a little easier than I can see it sometimes. The thing I'm using the most are this beam function and flood function. The beam, I didn't think I was going to like that much. Usually I like a good flood light just to illuminate everything, but the beam works really well, and I'll tie in some shots at night so you can kind of see. It's old Fat Dad at home. Let's take a look at those lights. So quick note about the Olight Arc series of lights. This is actually my 3rd one. I've been carrying them for a long time. I had the Arc Feld, which was an orange one, and I gave that to a friend. Here's a little picture of it. Used the crap out of it. And then I got the Arc Feld Ultra, I think it is, kind of a greenish one, which I really liked. But then Olight actually sent the Arc Pro out to me for free to check out, and I really like the upgrades here. All I'd say, and there'll be a link to it if you want to help out the channel and buy one through my link, that'd be great. But all I'd say that I've been buying my own for a while, and this is only the first one that Olight's actually given to me. So let's take a look at the output of this new Arc Pro. Okay, so this is with no lights on, and let's do the beam. And as you can see, it lights up quite nicely. This is the medium setting. That's the bright setting. Let's go into the trees so you can really see how well it lights up these trees. And that's about 25 yards away over there. So the beam really goes quite a distance. Let's switch over to flood. And this is full power flood. And again, you can see how it just lights those trees up all the way. Let's drop it down to low power. And now I can't see anything because it's dark out. My phone's doing weird things. But you can see that at the highest settings, this can really put out a ton of light. And especially that beam really lights up stuff out to quite a distance. As far as light emission, it has one other feature. It has a laser right there, and again I'll tie in some shots of the laser. And here's that laser. Here is the high setting on the laser, and again it just goes out no problem out to that 25 yards. And here is a low setting you can use as well. You know what, that's kind of nice to not have the bloom on there, and if you don't need the full power setting, this definitely does a trick for pointing stuff out. Now we've covered all the items, let's talk about my philosophy. So when I everyday carry something, I'm doing it because I'm going to use it every day. And it's important to state again that I'm going to use it every day. So I think there's a lot of other people that like to choose their everyday carry objects as a fashion statement, or as something they enjoy carrying because it's beautiful or it feels nice. And while those things are important, and they could be important to you, but again, this is my philosophy, they're not the main thing I'm looking for. I'm only putting things in my pockets that are going to weigh me down if I think I might actually use it every day. And I hope I illustrated that by showing you guys the amount of wear and tear that I put on the objects that I carry every day. I don't have anything that I pull out of my pockets today that looks brand new or looks like a showpiece item. They all have a good amount of wear on them because I'm putting them in the field, in my hands, and doing stuff with them all the time. My philosophy is all about function over form, to kind of boil it down. And you know, it's not like a close balance here. The function is way up here and the form is way down here. And you can see that as well in a lot of things I carry because they all have multiple uses. The knife is a knife, right? But it's also a screwdriver with multiple bits. There are competing brands. I think Klein makes a pocket knife that also has a bit holder, and it can be a it was really cool, and I'll have to, maybe if I can find a post for it, I'll post it up here. But it can also be pulled out and used as an impact bit. So if you're running your driver and you needed this extra Phillips, you could pull it off there and run it in your impact. But the only bit they had with that Klein pocket knife was a Phillips and the 1/4-inch driver. But I like the flathead, and I use a flathead a lot, so I wasn't inclined to shift over to that particular product. And then my light, obviously, the O-Light can do all sorts of different things. We've got 3 different beams, we've got the laser. It also charges magnetically, but a new addition is you can also charge it with a USB-C, which I think was a great move by O-Light in the past. I think most of their lights were just that proprietary magnet charger. And while the magnet, again, is another useful thing, if you want to put it on something steel, I can, if I'm working on the car, I can put it on the hood, or if I have a duct or something, I can tack it to the duct while I'm working in an area. So it's useful, it's a great feature, but it was the only way you could charge it, and the USB-C chargers are everywhere, easy to get your hands on, whereas I got to dig up that stinking magnet charger whenever I want to charge it if I had something from O-Light previously. Let's finish up by talking about everyday carry. It boils down for me to items that I'm going to use every day that are practical and durable. They have to be kind of lightweight, right? I don't want to intentionally strap something on me that's going to weigh me down more than it needs to. And I'm not really that interested in whether it looks good or not. What are your thoughts? I know I have a lot of everyday kind of folks, right? Not the necessarily fancier types who watch my channel. I feel like most of you guys are pretty rough and tumble folks just trying to live your everyday life. What do you put in your pockets every day? What's worth it for you to carry around to weigh yourself down because that weight to value ratio is so high? Let me know. I'm really curious to see. And I think that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.